Prince Louis' vision has emerged of him, absolutely beaming in a stunning turn of events. Prince Louis sent shockwaves throughout the world when he recently confronted his step-grandmother, Camilla. The fact that the young prince would dare to challenge the authority of the queen consort has been described as an unprecedented breach of royal protocol. "I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the queen being there," sparking widespread discussion. Many have been left questioning the very fabric of the monarchy. She was the villain, the third person in the marriage, and needed to rehabilitate her image. But what's even more astonishing, according to some observers, is that this confrontation took place on a day that was supposed to be one of the happiest of Louis's life, his 6th birthday. Join us as we delve into the world of the royal family, uncover the truth behind Louis's shocking confrontation with Camilla, and explore the hidden pressures and complexities of royal life that may have contributed to this astonishing incident. A birthday overshadowed, Prince Louis's 6th birthday, was meant to be a joyous, unforgettable experience. For weeks, insiders report that he had eagerly awaited the family picnic that was to take place in the sprawling, meticulously landscaped gardens of the palace. The royal family had long been known for their commitment to tradition, but for once this celebration was supposed to be different. This time, the young prince would experience a rare moment of freedom, a chance to escape the suffocating grip of royal formality and embrace a day filled with the simple joys of childhood. For Louis, known for his infectious energy, playful nature, and free-spirited personality, this was more than just a birthday. It was an opportunity to be just a boy surrounded by family, without the looming presence of royal expectations. His siblings, Princess Charlotte and Prince George, were equally excited. Together, they had envisioned a day of outdoor games, birthday, treats, and perhaps even a treasure hunt in the royal gardens. For a family as bound by tradition as the British royals, these rare, unstructured moments held significant meaning. But as the day of the event drew nearer, an unforeseen turn of events would shatter the idyllic picture that had been painted. In a move that shocked the entire family, Queen Camilla, who had been overseeing the preparations for the birthday, reportedly cancelled the outdoor picnic just hours before it was set to begin. Officially, the cancellation was attributed to safety concerns, but whispers from insiders suggested a far more complex reasoning behind the decision. To those who knew Camilla well, it seemed the cancellation was less about genuine safety issues and more about the Queen's adherence to the strict royal protocol she held so dear. Royal events, particularly those marking the birth of a prince, were to be conducted with the utmost formality. In her eyes, a carefree picnic with the royal children playing in the gardens was simply not fitting for an occasion of such importance. Instead, the celebration would now take place indoors, where the formalities of royal life could be properly observed. The news shocked the young prince. The joy that had been bubbling inside him suddenly drained away, replaced by confusion and a deep sense of loss. He had eagerly counted down the days to the picnic, but now that dream was snatched away from him. The young prince's excitement quickly turned to frustration, as he couldn't fathom why his birthday, a day that was supposed to be about him, was being shaped by the desires and decisions of others. As the day unfolded, it was clear that Louis was struggling to process the abrupt change. The grand indoor celebration, with its carefully planned royal etiquette, seemed to suffocate the young prince. While his siblings managed to adjust to the new plans, Louis just couldn't shake the disappointment. According to reputable sources, his parents, William and Kate, tried their best to salvage the situation. They brought out his favourite toys, attempted to coax him into a smile with birthday presents, and made sure he knew they loved him. But nothing seemed to bring back the spark in the young prince's eyes. The quiet tension built as the hours passed. The air in the room grew thick, not just with the heaviness of Louis's disappointment, but there was an underlying sense of unease. There was something more at play here than just a cancelled picnic. Louis, still so young but already beginning to grasp the complexities of his family's world, seemed to sense that he was caught between two forces, his own desire for freedom, and the weight of the royal expectations that surrounded him. Then, just as the evening seemed to reach its breaking point, Queen Camilla, perhaps unaware of the emotional undercurrent in the room, approached Louis. An attendant suggested she had likely intended to wish him a happy birthday, but as she neared him, something in the atmosphere shifted. Those who were close enough to witness the interaction described the moment as tense and charged. Louis, still seething with his own emotions, looked up at his step-grandmother with hate-filled eyes, and for a brief moment the room fell silent, as if everyone instinctively knew something significant was about to unfold. What happened next remains the subject of much speculation. It was not the casual, innocent exchange one might expect between a young child and his grandmother. Instead, Louis's response stunned everyone present. It was a reaction that seemed to come from a place much deeper than mere childhood frustration. Those who witnessed the confrontation were left to wonder whether this was an isolated outburst or a sign of deeper unresolved tension between Louis and his step-grandmother. As the incident sparked concerns about the dynamics within the royal family, attention turned to the role of Queen Camilla, particularly her influence on the youngest members of the family. Queen Camilla's influence within the royal family reportedly extends far beyond her ceremonial duties. Her role as step-grandmother to Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis has become a topic of considerable public interest. While she is publicly known for her role as Queen Consort to King Charles III, insiders claim that her involvement in the lives of the younger royals goes far beyond the occasional family gathering or public appearance. May thy servant Camilla, who wears this crown, be filled by thine abundant grace and with all princely virtues. Camilla's influence is reported to stretch deeply into areas such as daily routines and public behavior, shaping much of the children's upbringing. From the moment she became a part of the royal family, Camilla adopted a firm belief in maintaining royal decorum. This perspective often aligns more with tradition and formal expectations than the modern, relaxed parenting style embraced by Prince William and Kate. For Camilla, royal decorum is not a mere suggestion, it is a cornerstone of what it means to be a royal, and she strives to instill this value in her grandchildren. One of the more surprising aspects of Camilla's approach to her step-grandchildren is her strict enforcement of certain rules, many of which royal watchers feel are uncomfortable or stifling, especially for a young child like Prince Louis. There are claims that while Louis's siblings, George and Charlotte, occasionally receive more leeway, Louis has often found himself on the receiving end of her corrections. Her insistence on maintaining a certain level of royal composure has meant that Louis, known for his exuberant and free-spirited nature, has often been reminded to act in accordance with her version of royal decorum. One particularly telling moment occurred during a royal event in 2022 when the family attended a long formal ceremony. Camilla purportedly insisted that Louis remain seated and composed throughout the event, despite the fact that his older siblings, George and Charlotte, were given some leeway to move around or engage with the people around them. Louis's frustration with the situation was quite evident. Royal watchers noticed that he constantly shifted uncomfortably in his seat, unable to express himself as he would in a more relaxed environment. His discomfort was not simply due to the length of the event, but also because he felt as though he was being treated unfairly compared to his siblings. Such moments, while seemingly minor, accumulated over time and began to create a noticeable rift between Louis and Camilla. The young prince, still developing his understanding of the world around him, found himself torn between his natural instincts, playful, energetic, and carefree, and the pressure to conform to the more rigid expectations set forth by Camilla. His once lively demeanor began to show signs of withdrawal, and Louis, once the most carefree of the three, started to act more reserved in her presence. These frustrations were compounded by Camilla's increasingly prominent role in making decisions about the children's upbringing, from controlling their education to managing their appearances. And public interactions, Camilla's influence seemed to weigh heavily on Louis, especially as he struggled to reconcile his playful nature with the more reserved conduct expected of him. For Louis, The pressure of royal life began to feel like a constant battle, one in which he was forced to suppress his natural instincts to conform to the rigid rules laid out by his step-grandmother. Insiders claimed that as the prince grew older, his frustrations began to manifest more clearly, with his behavior becoming an unspoken rebellion against the ever-present expectation to behave according to royal protocol. Critics note that his actions are not overt acts of defiance, but subtle signs of resistance. An eye roll here, a sigh there, and a noticeable shift in mood whenever Camilla was near. Past frictions. Camilla's strained dynamics with the young royal, "I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there." According to royal insiders, Prince Louis's confrontation with Camilla is not the first sign of friction between them. Tensions have been brewing for years. Sources have recounted moments of tension between Camilla and the Wales children, including subtle disagreements about public appearances. Reports suggest that during a 2022 family event, Camilla corrected Prince George's table manners in front of other guests, leading to visible discomfort. During King Charles III's coronation, Louis's lively antics caught the public's attention, but behind the scenes, Camilla was reportedly unimpressed. Sources claim she expressed frustration over his behavior, allegedly remarking that such conduct was unbecoming for a royal child, creating visible discomfort for Louis. Another moment of tension reportedly occurred during Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. While Louis was understandably absent due to his young age, insiders suggest that Camilla insisted he remain out of public view for major events until he could display appropriate decorum. This directive was said to have upset William and Kate, who believed it was important for all their children to feel included in royal traditions. These incidents, combined with Camilla's stricter approach to royal protocol, have reportedly fostered an uneasy relationship between her and Louis. Insiders note that the young prince, while still developing his understanding of family dynamics, has started to express his feelings more openly, culminating in the now infamous birthday confrontation. The shocking confrontation. Prince Louis, to mark his 6th birthday, the tension between Prince Louis and Queen Camilla finally reached its dramatic peak during the boy's 6th birthday celebration. The atmosphere, once filled with anticipation, shifted further when Camilla, ever the picture of royal composure, approached the young prince to wish him a happy birthday. According to insiders, her greeting, though meant to be a warm and tender gesture, was met with an unexpected response that left the room in stunned silence. As Camilla leaned down to offer her well wishes, Louis, still agitated and hurt, reportedly turned his back on her. He didn't acknowledge her presence or return her greeting. It's easy to guess that Camilla was not happy with his reaction. According to some insiders, she invited the young prince to turn back toward her and show some respect to his queen. But in a moment of raw emotion, Prince Louis leaned toward his older sister, Princess Charlotte, and whispered something that shocked everyone within earshot. "I hate her. She's not my queen." Prince Louis's 6th birthday. It was apparently taken by the Princess of Wales. The words, though soft enough to be private, cut through the room with startling clarity. Witnesses, many of whom had been accustomed to the royal family's composed exterior, were taken aback by the intensity of the moment. It wasn't just the words themselves, but the deep emotion behind them that made the situation so jarring. There was no attempt to soften the message, no facade of politeness that typically shields the royal family from public displays of conflict. Instead, Louis's reaction was pure, unfiltered, and raw. For Camilla, maintaining her composure in the face of such a public rejection was no easy feat. Despite the sting of Louis's words, an insider shared that she somehow managed to keep her expression neutral. However, a few in the room could see that her usual grace had momentarily faltered. Her discomfort was evident in the way she looked away briefly, as if processing the gravity of what had just transpired. It was a fleeting moment, but it didn't go unnoticed by the royal circle. The undercurrent of tension that had been building for months, perhaps even years, between her and Louis had finally bubbled to the surface. In a bid to prioritize their son's well-being, reports have it that Prince William and Catherine later took matters into their own hands after the birthday celebration. They reportedly disregarded Queen